What up, friends? We are back. We finished Kingdom of Bones, Book 5 of the Echo Saga, right here by Philip C. Quaintrell. This is actually the second trilogy, so Book 5. So this is Echoes of the Lost, but the Echo
Yeah.
Saga is the overarching, arching.
Overarching?
The umbrella name is what it's
Name.
called.
Let it be named.
Let it be named. Anyway, so yeah, we've got Kingdom of Bones Book 5. We talk about this every time. I don't know how I feel about the character art on there. But
Yeah,
I
that
think this
one's
cover is pretty cool.
Anara and
I
Aethys.
dig it. Yep.
I mean,
Yes,
I
indeed.
think
I
it's pretty
assume
cool too.
that's named her in the background.
That would make sense because it's elevated, and that's like a big plot thing about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. But I really like the whole you can see the ashes in the sky and the sun in the background and stuff. Big fan, big fan, big fan.
Fig ban.
So
Yeah,
let's
the cover's a win.
get to it.
Let's do it. Let's get into it. Let's make it happen.
Cue the clip.
Cue the intro.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
So character development. How we feel about these characters.
I was stressed for a lot of them. I feel like they all got very good emotional development and all had points of high impact, but I feel all of our characters had some sort of something going on.
I really liked the Elijah chapters. They were gritty. They were dark and gritty and hopeless, and I thought they were grand. I liked the use of that.
Yeah, I can't not agree. How do you those were so good. I don't know what I was gonna say. My brain turned off.
What do I say? Yeah, the character development was great. I really don't have anything else to add other than that all the characters I thought got great moments. We got a great situation with we got great development from Nathaniel and Reyna. We got great development from Doran. We got great development
Gideon
from
and Ara.
I don't know how to say his name. Is it Vighon? His growth has been good to watch.
He's one of the cooler characters.
Especially
I
because
thought
in
he
the
was
first
just
book,
gonna be a side character.
yeah, the first book was he's going to be Elijah's shadow, and then at the end of book 1 they separated, and it was
I'm a beautiful
no.
butterfly.
And all the foreshadowing with him that's been happening.
Arlen's a dick.
His dad is the biggest D-bag.
Yeah, he's a big old sack of turds. Also, the Crow is a really cool character.
His character is very
He's
cool.
kind of cool.
I loved that the flashbacks of the first one were about him without it saying it was about him until the end. I mean, it was kind of clear, but it was it got there and it was and my name is Sarkis.
Yeah, it's one of those glass room things. It's you have no idea who this is, and it's
yeah,
we can see you.
We can see it miles away.
But yeah, loved all the characters. And there's again no POVs.
Yeah, all of them were I want to read this.
I feel like originality and creativity. I feel like this picked up well from book 1. There was a pretty seamless transition, or book 4, pretty seamless transition, but it still felt like its own book. It definitely felt separate from book 1 while still being part of the same story. It was easy dub.
Yeah, I don't know that I have much to add here either. It was great. The series has continued to feel fresh and good.
Fresh, good, and dark. Big depresh.
From there, the engaging storyline. Another one that I don't really know what else to say other than that it's been.
You haven't said anything.
I don't know what to say. It's just good. I don't have when I have
do
complaints.
An RSQ review. Dakota's words. Good.
It was just grand. When I have things to say, it's normally about when bad things happen. But
I know we got to talk about the good though. We talk about the good things.
I like that. Go ahead.
I was gonna save you because I feel
save me.
This is pacing, but flew through it because I felt like all the characters are just stressed as hell the entire time. Right? We have Elijah's torture the whole time while everybody's going off doing their own thing. It's nice that they had each character had somebody with them, so you didn't have to have so many different POVs. But Doran going back to his homeland, pretty crazy. I'm glad we got to see some dwarf
yeah, it is
stuff.
cool that it's continued to open the world up wider and show us more cool stuff. And this isn't really this section, but more lore. I love my lore dumps.
This is again book 2 where he does that. He goes, here's a bunch of lore anyway.
Yeah, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah, so I really like seeing more of the dwarves in this one, and again more of Vighon's story and how like deep that one actually is. I wasn't expecting how
It was cool
the
to see
depthicles.
Crow start feeling like unhinged in this one. Like, not that he was actually unhinged. In the first one, though, it was like, I'm going to F up everyone's world. And in this one, it was like, what does he want? Because no one's happy and we're all losing. Like, the orcs were not doing great. He was like, trust. You're going to do good. Trust. And then they lose their battle. And
I like it though.
yeah.
I like the crow. I think he's a
he's
bad
great.
dude. He's a bad dude. But like, it's one of those things where it's like, is he though? He's doing a lot of bad and terrible things, but do the ends justify the means?
Dude, the big reveal that he's manipulated 10,000 years of Verda history to create Elijah, this is kind of nuts.
Yeah, I've been doing years and years and all this crafting and seeing the future and stuff just so your parents could get it out.
Just so
crazy.
you could move from the twinkle in your dad's eye to the once and forever king.
Yeah, it's just
King Arthur
casual.
reference.
It's casual.
And Lord of the Rings reference, once and future king.
Don't even get me started on Lord of the Rings references.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Let me see if I can pull up my notes on the app while you talk about the book of something.
I've been talking about the book.
I know, but I'm distracted looking for my notes.
Save me, he says. Yeah. We're on engaging storyline, right? We got lost in the sauce.
The story is engaging, and we did talk about that. So now it's the end.
The end was great. I liked that it resolved the problem, but like half resolved the problem. Our heroes got to get the ending they deserve in that they fought really hard to get to this impossible battle. I liked the forging of the Moonblade as the like original Vitari blade. That was pretty cool too.
Yeah, I think that would, because they had like briefly mentioned Moonblades, I think like once in the original trilogy. So it's like, it's cool that it like became, I can't remember. I thought they had mentioned something like, oh yeah, they're like deep, one of those like deep lore things. Or it could have just been remembering before, but I thought it was the original trilogy. So it's cool to see it. I thought that was interesting. I thought we were going to lose Reyna for a bit. I think
I thought it was funny that like the door was super, Reyna, it would have been, we did need him to kill someone.
I mean,
Hadavad died in the end of book 1.
I know, but somebody died. But I see what you're saying.
But who died in book 2?
I do agree that it was kind of like the door opening was like a dwarf and an elf have to sing together.
I thought that was really funny.
I
was just about to say, I think this is the second time we've had a situation like this. I can't talk about the other one where I've liked the cheesy answer and you haven't liked the cheesy answer.
I don't want cheesy. I think that's my problem is if I do have to nitpick a bit, I think that Doran falls as like the comedic relief character, which is fine, but it just makes all of his interactions seem dumb. Like he's an idiot. And I'm like, he's actually the super deep character. And then he just talks out loud. Or he's just got this crazy Scottish accent.
Yeah. I want to know where the dwarves came from.
And the next book will be Adelan has created the dwarves by doing, he chopped a human in half, and that's what happened.
Imagine he took some immortality and gave it to half of a dead body and another half a body, and it grew into dwarves, and then
gave it to children, and they never grew taller than they were, 2 feet.
And then they lived for hundreds of years.
Right.
Yeah, they live forever, and I'm like, I need to know.
They're not immortal.
But they live a long time. So how long do they live?
I think Doran's like 260 years old or something.
And his dad's still alive, and his mom's still alive.
Maybe they had him young.
That's true. I had you young. Mm-hmm. That's the RSQ plot twist. Nobody saw coming.
Dakota's my dad. Woogie, woogie, woogie. Yeah, I gave it a full point for story end. I think that this one, this is a like big battle that I feel like they earned all of their fights for. I really enjoyed it, especially like the bottlenecking everybody and having to fight everybody with like the spikes. And Vighon's like, please just listen to me and help me set this up. And Arlen's like, what if I didn't?
What if everybody was stupid?
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to do something.
At the end, Elijah going into the time warp.
I think I'm going to do something.
Oh? Are you giving a PowerPoint?
I'm taking away a quarter of a point.
I don't think you took... I feel like your complaint for where you want to take your quarter of a point away is not for this book. I think it's for the next book.
Hear me out. It's not. I feel like my complaints about Doran that I talked about and Arlen being just a caricature of character. Like, I feel like he's just playing into like being a trope right now. Like, he's super badass. In the end of the book, it's like, is this kind of what you wanted to do like the whole time? Because this doesn't really seem like your Like you had all these plans, and then you were so close, and you're like, "Ha ha, I'm here."
I do agree with you. I will say this is a criticism of the author that when he builds characters based on tropes, he falls dangerously close to making them the perfect like picture of that archetype. And it's like Asher in book 1 felt like that to me. He felt like he was just, I'm
Didn't feel that
Batman,
way.
I'm dark and broody, and that's all I am. Like in the beginning of book 1, that's kind of, it felt like that to me. But I don't know that you feel that way about this book. I think you feel that way for Arlon about the next book. Because in this book, Arlon was bad, but he was not nearly as prevalent because of the Queen. The Queen didn't die till like 3/4 of the way through this book. And it was still like, you're not in charge, like back up off me. And then his dad was like, but I will be. So do
I
you
guess
feel
you
that
might
way
be
about
right.
this book, or do you feel that way about the next book?
I still feel that way about Doran.
If you want to take your point,
And Nathaniel is a little white.
that's true. Nathaniel,
They kind of made him into like this grumpy dad
I did
that
feel
just
like
makes bad decisions.
I did
I'm
feel like
going
they
back to the full
were
point, but no, I'm not. 0.75. I'm taking it away. You lose a quarter. Sorry,
snip,
Philip.
snap, snip, snap. That's crazy. I don't feel like that was worth losing points, but you do you. If it makes
Doing
you
it.
happy, do the
It
thing.
doesn't. Makes me upset.
Well, this is what it looks like. So from there, the world building and setting?
Yeah.
Gave it a 0.
So shut your face hole. So much lore in this one, which is just what we want. I think the setting again just expands. We get to see like the mines and everything, and breaking in and stuff was just fantastic. I liked it all. Give me more. Give me more.
Yeah, the world keeps getting bigger. Like the Bastion being a thing in this one was cool. I mean, it got revealed in book 1, Adeline's like study or whatever. But or was it Nias's study? No, it was Adeline's study. Anyway.
With the tooth in there.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Are we moving on? More to say about world building and setting, or are we moving on?
No, pacing and structure. That's another one I want to blow through because the pacing was fantastic. Because I blew through this book too. I don't remember how long it took me. It was like less than a week.
We read this one fast. We both read this one in like 4 days.
Yeah, this was quick.
Yeah, it was great. I haven't been able to put this series down. The second trilogy has been gripping. I felt like the pacing I liked the pacing in the first trilogy, but the pacing in this one has been like amazing.
Yeah. I would agree. Emotional impact, I feel like in this one was really good in 4, but I feel like this one was also just everybody had something going on aside from like the main event, right? Everybody had their own like side story they were working through and like troubles and traumas and
yada, and it mattered, and the stakes were good, and that made like the stakes for medium rare good.
That's the thing. It wasn't just some silly, I'm butthurt.
Yeah,
blah,
it wasn't
blah.
a problem to make a problem. Like but it was real.
Exactly.
And it's like, I need to make a problem for these characters. Like, no, all the POVs mattered to the big picture.
Would agree.
Asher being tortured, Reyna and Nathaniel trying to get the dwarves. Elijah being tortured. Asher was AFK.
He was literally in his brain AFK.
He was AFK this book.
Yeah, Doran having to go see his parents again. And
that was
escape
emotional.
home, hasn't been there in years. See his brother for the first time, and
then be like, "It's crazy that you used to love the arts, but I made you into a soldier because I abandoned our family."
He didn't think of that.
Sorry, little bro.
Rippity skippity. But yeah, I like all the dark themes of this one still.
Same.
Our writing style here is where I'm going to bring up all my highlights.
I'm ready. Hit me with them.
He used genuflect twice.
Yeah, you were like, genuflect is such a word he uses so much. Uses it twice.
He learned from the first series, okay, but it's still in there. I feel like he's putting in there for me now. It's like a little cameo. Vighon had a cool quote that I highlighted. Arlen was talking. He said, "If you're not with me, Vighon," Arlen called after him, "then you're against you." Vighon finished, pausing with his hand on the doorknob. It could never have been any other way. Before he walked out of the chamber, Vighon left his father with an expression he hoped conveyed the pure contempt he had for the man. They were enemies now, nothing more. Boom. Somebody said, "Our ancestors' way of saying, be careful, the weapons you make in war will still be there when the war is over." Thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, that was good.
That was a good line. I thought a really stupid thing that happened was I highlighted the Master Dragorn checked his belt and curse. I left the diviner in the Lifeless Isles when he had talked to the like that's such a plot convenience dumb thing.
Yeah, that was something.
I left so quick I forgot my wallet at home. Like,
me and my dragon that can fly didn't think about this diviner that we would need to contact our backup army.
For real? I was like, okay. Here is where we get to and I know somebody was upset on our TikTok comments that I compared this to Lord of the Rings, but he has so many nods to Lord of the Rings here, and they're like thrown in your face. I can't be the only one seeing it.
It's just you.
Keep your eye on the east. I will return. Doran watched his friend disappear. Gandalf at Helm's Deep. Right there. When you are bereft of hope, look to the eastern plains. You'll see the first Dragonborn to lead the army of man into battle. Gandalf, Helm's Deep. And then I didn't highlight any other ones, but those ones are the ones that stuck out. I thought I had more, but
That was it.
There was more, I swear. I forget that I can highlight on this new app, so I like don't do it. And then I remember like, oh crap, I could do it.
Yeah, I forget that too. I need to do it more. I highlighted something in the book that I'm reading right now. That was it. There's nowhere else that statement was going other than look at me. I did a highlight.
Look at Dakota taking notes.
Yeah, the writing style and prose is great. I think when we were talking earlier, you made a good point. This was offline that maybe comparing it to Lord of the Rings is not fair, but he makes a lot of nods to Lord of the Rings. So maybe it's like Easter eggs in a way.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to compare it to Lord of the Rings. Like those quotes are like nods, right? But like when I initially said Lord of the Rings, it was because I had said that I feel like, and this was back to the first trilogy, was that this was a series that is of that old fantasy feeling. At least the first trilogy when I was talking about was old fantasy feeling like Lord of the Rings, but almost instead of high fantasy, it was just low regular fantasy, but modernized. Like it doesn't.
Yeah, I agree. So much so that like part of the fun was the lore in this, but it like wasn't required from the first page because we know what traditional fantasy feels like, right? Like you're in a world with magic and rangers and rogues and dwarves and dragons, and it was like that makes sense. That checks out. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like I'm not conveying that well, but that's.
I'll make sure to clip this and make it out of context so everybody thinks you're comparing it to Lord of the Rings again.
I don't know how to explain it better.
I know. I think you did it fine. I think I explained it fine for you. There's just a lot of nods. It's two things.
Thank you for mansplaining.
In this, there's like a lot of Easter eggs and nods towards Lord of the Rings. But the first trilogy itself feels like a Tolkien-esque kind of fantasy in the way that it's like easy to read and that it's like it's hard to make big sweeping claims like it's today's Lord of the Rings. No other fantasy will ever top it. But in the like feeling that it has, where it's very approachable and very like not simplistic, but just not high fantasy, right?
Modernized, approachable version of that type of fantasy.
You did good.
Thanks. I needed the reassurance. Meaningful themes and depth. This is a very deep book, I feel like, compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
Just the gravity of everything that's going on, especially with how like helpless everything is. But I wrote down plenty of themes. Just to name a few is duty to the realm versus duty to your family and friends, courage in the face of failure and overwhelming odds, doing what's right versus what you want to do, getting out of your comfort zone and sacrificing for the greater good. Are the blatant ones, but there's a billion other themes.
The doing what you right versus
could be explored.
Doing what's right versus doing what you want to, I feel like is a big persistent theme in this trilogy. I mean, in this whole series, but specifically, like you have Inara talking about how she wants to go and like find her family and how she wants to go and like do what she thinks best, but she needs to like obey Gideon because he's the Master Dragoran. And you have Vighon who wants to leave and go be with Elijah and who's like, I need to stay here with my dad, even though he didn't even want to come back to begin with, and then has to be like the captain of the guard. And it's like, they're like, we don't want you here. And he's like, great, I don't want to be here. That's it. There's no but. There's no but. I don't want to be here.
Well, same with Doran too. He's like, I really don't want to go back home. Literally ever. Like, well, I need you. He goes, well, damn, I guess I'll.
Yeah, like every POV was faced with that, like doing what's right versus doing what they want. Elijah doing what's right, being tortured so that he can be the once and future king.
That one's as much of a choice, but
he chose to follow destiny. Okay. Yeah, easy point there. And then
wrapping it up, another easy point.
Yeah, 0 rereadability and lasting impact.
True.
Yeah, I wanted to jump into the next book immediately, and this whole series has been impactful.
I would agree. I am liking the series more, and each book is getting better.
I saw that, by the way.
Yeah, I went back and forth. My character is going back to 1 because I don't feel like it's a big enough deal. I feel like it's a personal complaint. And although we can be subjective, I feel like we definitely haven't read the next book yet. Going to be docking it
in the next book
because I feel like it wasn't painfully obvious in this one, but there
is. You know what else? This doesn't belong in this review. I'll have to remember to talk about this. Remind me in book 3, in book 6, 3, 6. Third book of the second trilogy.
Sure.
Remind me to talk about Doran's actions and Arlan's actions and how they fall into their tropes when we talk about the next book.
Jack, clip that.
Mods,
clip that for us. All right, cool. 10 out of 10 for this book. I think again we have a weird scenario where we have a fantasy book that the second book outshines its previous one. And not to say
Yeah.
that the
It's
first
very
one was
interesting.
like bad, but like this one I just liked.
Yeah, same. It was weird because the second book out of the first three was my favorite because it was the big lore dumps. And then in this one, he loves to give me the lore dumps I desire.
They're pretty neck and neck for me though. Like
Yeah.
I would pick the second book more, but I think they're pretty close.
In the original or in this one?
In this one.
In this one, they're
the
a lot
first
closer.
trilogy was more defined. Which ones I like
Yes.
more.
In the first trilogy, I definitely like the second one more. In this one, it is a lot closer, but this one did some good stuff in book 2.
Yeah, I concur. Any hoser. That's that.
There we are. Stick around, stay tuned for Shadow and Bone review, and eventually, when we finish it, an Age of the King review for Echo 6.
All right. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Haley, say hi.
My wife was here the whole time. You never saw her.
You never saw her. And
Anyway.
your dog.
And my dog under the table.
And Cade 6.
And Sanic. I'm emptying
Gotta go
boxes
fast.
and stuff like just all over the place.
All
Anyway,
right,
thanks
we're
for watching.
pandering.
Thanks for being here. Love you long time.
RSQ.
RSQ out.
Out.
Oot.